Ja Oil is Gambia's leading dealer when it comes to fuel and has made it a duty to satisfy our customers at all costs. Vehicle owners and drivers need not to worry about getting quality and affordable fuel anymore. That is the reason we have our branches spread all over the country for easy access. For good and clean fuel, the only place to go is Ja Oil. Your need for good and durable petrol, gasoline and kerosene has been covered by Ja Oil, so you need not to worry. Walk to any of our branches and get served to satisfaction. With Ja Oil, your satisfaction is our priority. That is why we have branches at your doorstep to make accessibility easy for you. With our professional and friendly staff, we can assure you satisfaction. To get the best fuel for your engines, the only place to go is Ja Oil. With Ja Oil, it's all enjoyment. That is why we are offering you low charges at our stations on the Coastal Road in Banjul. For more information, you can call 770-8080, 322-9070, 714-7273, or 387-1321. Ja Oil, the pride of the nation.
Take pride in satisfying every customer's financial needs.
Introducing the future of hassle-free and seamless financial transaction. The Una Wallet app, empowering you to effortlessly manage your money anytime, anywhere. With the Una Wallet app, you can now enjoy branchless banking, wallet-to-wallet transfer, wallet-to-cash, and bank cross-border payments, deposit at a bank, and withdraw from any Una branch. Get ready to experience the ultimate banking convenience with the Una Wallet app. With just few taps on your phone, you can effortlessly add funds, withdraw, and send money to your loved ones. The Una Wallet app also provides a detailed history of your transaction, making it easier to track your expenses. So, what are you waiting for? Download the Una Wallet app today on Play Store or App Store and say goodbye to hassle of traditional banking. Uno Forex Bureau Limited, delivering much more than money.
Assalamualaikum bari ngal bismillah na Kerr Fatou programme ton kamin ke jang ramisa bi murun tan yan ko take ka chana tali ya lon ko ngafo nyamin dron political season ko mastale andong silan kay foga candidate finditale bati jamal to bin na binga min so honorable Ousainu Darboe na the last time na la kacha was around August, just before I tell the first leg of a European tour. And of course, Nakachaja Wakenunja, Minketa candidate Lakua, what time we flag bearer conversation was to follow at the European tour. About another first leg in August. That was in first one was in the US. About another, I think the second leg was in September. Cameroon in BT Mambesila Nakacha. Mr. Darboe, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Fatou. Thank you.
Inata.
Bila kumabado galle Fatou
galle Fatou
to Kerr Fatou so galle Fatou
ya dinna fa say mo nin tamita mo ka fa Fatou ya biwe galle Fatou galle wala Fatou lo so kono right
fula kan
okay hanya nin ko la ka fula kan fa mo ka ni fulu le besire
yani fula le
ya fula du fula dole okay maybe similar short
abaraka bake
ina America ina man sila fandoje bari ina je tata Europe ko teke ndunga America nga kudi jamaale moy min fotaje ina kana ba wosi ina ta ina ta ku ke dunta so mo ya ka nga ba fudo ku leta ba ya American ko rubo diata ina ta in September leta in European tour ni fananga je kam to ko fana it was very successful to ni to flow data nyaade how did it go?
Alhamdulillah, ala tentu ya faka kodol fata jeto ko di babare ni le bante je mama
maje folo
maje
je
ngamoy ya bebe ni amon sane kachata ado bato asira ile jifoko to baraka bak Fatou yonji amen na janto yani mbitala no American tola ngadali lo fole no me yat na mbitaka wala ko na pati ding lebe bantala jeto ani gambe ding ko lebe bantala jeto nka banko tama nyame janto kabo katon fakata koyna kabo bar kata fa pasamas ka gam futa gambe ding ma na pati ding al melan ka ko manke na pati ding ni kacha bangol al halola ani ko me alam ka nyanta kana pati os ngaji ka sin na pati os samba nyato wadale lan kilenga yakende data bantala ngamira samina mambula na mirale ko non ka foko gambia dinglu ebe Africa dula ko dangal tole Sierra Leone Central African Republic Senegal and East Africa so babato no niko diaspora nyantal ko fana bulandi ko kono maybe na taman ko dangalo mbambun ba futalo fana male
wow that's interesting ila nying tamo kono ko ngaji watu wati likata ning gamen ko kata an tonya gamen jamal ka finti in min ka kacha ka bo America kata Europe kata UK ni ba fola gunan gamben la sula kolti bankola man sakunda mbe sirin biya jenya dile kabre ni kacha
bi Gambia ding fem fo be UDP le bang way parti ko tende to bang ila sula ku follow men katawnyante ikakang ila banku di ya kang sembo kama sekunda tolo ila afta masukunda menna wala mo iskarto fay omo ko malti ibulu pour carte fay diaspora voting omo ko malti and fulanjang fanande memula suloti memula hamoti olanka mansa kundaja bankoka men yaron ka fako is corruption free corruption mansa kunda men ka be corruption aba kella janto mansa kunda men yalam ka fako Gambia ko la hajo ibe lola la pour kalola nyama men yaron ka fako mole jiko soto kelen ka konko kele banko kan ka fukari ya kele banko kan jata kele bunda ake dula saharinti molka jata kele molka jaro sotanya banko kan the entire in the governance structure a club coolant mayalo ka fuko Gambians melba in the diaspora ila sula kulomo fo be UDP le ban fo mantra UDP ban ba mo Gambia dingti bawo membe ke kan banko kan janto Gambia dingel melbe bantala tata pati to aduno do mandi bilari kan jeto adu lafto duno ni way bulari kan
ngaji fona mitinol ke min ko France and Angleterre and but you always ila message you always was the economic situation of this country anu ngaji ko Gambia diaspora ko ni ajube ko min fo baka carte fa bar bi sinkiri jama be tolle bulo ko nyim banko kan ya mira ko wo sula ko be buli nyaadi le kaje ko dañi nonin kudol ka sonaya banko kan
well dañi ni si sono ya banko kan natna ngante usiti banko kan janto na kam na balu fanglo nke sene manda sene la dambar nke sene ajama wala wa nabe full security sotla and ba nata kafako na buntu betala bantale puro nga full security sodo obe kole ala bake no niba food security so lenyate nyati na seno bundala le akana ke dala ko modam manti ya mo ko alenje ya tractor dan tan bondi yo londi ya natal balke ya kuma bal fo jeto hani anyanta kala modan datle ko nyanta le na tuol nyini foti alo no fomani lombang ete alo nda ban foti alo lombang senefen nyanta le ngatru nga nyinin atur jama atur fason jama na research section of agriculture isba nare yolo ke sembentu ya bake ye research is nolke follow sanefeng la mele alon ka foko ninji man ko keta mete ite batala bake yabe ye research ke feng malon ka foko wala ka senefang tat wala ka senefang le tinya tumbolu offensive falo yabe adun kanadan kar sa ngalo barbitu fonsi kul fanan keno ba men sol keleno memba ko tumbolte men sol keleno yabe na sanjama ngafono ka foko water policy tatu na ground water nyanta lo na ground water be level to malto anala capacity munete yalo be bohos no drill kan dula be bari na wakan na ground water aka affect nyaadile kan natra ka foko sama manano membe duma waysi mun ke no da banko duma bari fay ba ko la be nyim bani me yalo ka foko kabrin basse fansab jani itambe basse la kana wa kawru jidima bijeto o jidima wo nyanto mfamuna fanna wala nyaadile puna seno bundalto nyillam kut kama kafko manzo kuna nyanta ka kuti dungala adu fen nak ni bakela bokko dole kijeto so wolom na allocation na be do men allocate la priorities no nyanta kol no
when not in the question of the phone na new budget session o min tamito den Minister of Finance nyumba to la tata deputy bongoto nyente men na fankun deputy be budget o nyin they were debating on it ngaje ko allocation or ketare nyinam fanan sangola president's office and vice president office ikala nyokan bari nyina ngaje bondi nyokan ngamira and then president office da mangamira 700 and something million but the Minister of Youth and Sports you were 100 and something. And first, military reaction on the cabinet budget allocation on
well, kaya kafako yetalaro kele fam kude. Menyanta kude la yol bali kude kendola. Ya kude dila me yala ko nugolu anun kul kensan le kude yol dila. Ko ko ngefa na kudele $700 million yoke office to la productivity mumunete president's office wa kamuna produce bank wa memo bank wala na fa fengte maji ma fu ko presence of manyan allocation sort la
yeah
bari 700 million maji bi ka fu ko nyanto sort la ado fem babe kata muneto jorolo salaries personal emoluments ani ya yolo fu falti ya yolo kata wolleto so ibe melkala emoluments in the first place entire workforce member in the presence of his Jube, is it necessary to have so many people in that office? Dol katala jeto itaji kabri somanda fo wuraro fo talana neji italo na menke
dol file from
hani kaito bukan kaitala me bulola but they're on the payroll.
Yeah.
Tamana kafa ko janibo ko ba betale ba bekala office of the president. Inyante merla kake dulalto membo ko seno bunda yake funding ke wala dulato ajo la allocation jibe zero scholarships 200 million plus nina yas last to 100 million scholarships na trete lafta ma ko rokla funding ke wala pour ya karan sono ye bulo wallo scholarship allocation inyante ya increase barik ya tala eko president na hospital fu falti ya yola banko kan next year yoke 52 million ti last nyinanta me allocate fanya yo increase le for next year wala na ka ko ye kudie ye fan kudele mel nyanta kudie kendo sodla ye nuwolu nun kuluken santa yala wal kan e ka fal kan wal fan le kudie sodla.
Do you believe kwenye allocation or minke
ba mbandi wala fana kafa fana kafa president fala jo wala nyanta talala
president wala salary
absolutely wul kemelo
ha
wul kemelo for president ka do ko permanent secretary bank no, let us be quite frank about these things adla ka do ko permanent secretary permanent secretary will fete lebu ka do ko beke
the technicians yes
ya nati advice I assign abuka direction dide at least ni president abuka direction ma president ko tambuka ke not this president
abuka direction
hani ni muka direction di yeah, but honestly president salary my friend you are not paying for rent. Mantra any utilities jola. There's nothing. No ya long kaf kon dépense solo mi ikang. Na wuli kemelulu. Katu ko permanent secretary ka jo menna wala su ko dépense ka bolto de.
Hade. Ala corona
la fon ko be ka bolto de. Afanan kala bana famen horoma e ka boleto. Your compare wala salary compare with that of the president hanama adu kola nyim officiality mel bani ninkan including me ngole ko tukare al palas nyim bunya palaso adinna ngado ko kaliya amma nyene kala kaf ko ngani bunya palaso ta kake kodi nyen dulate it should be service your privilege le soto. So kafoko yena salary soto of that magnitude nim banku fukaro kan no wo manke wo meme conscience soto o manya nakela
kabri debate be ke kanunka president wala allowance na la salary la panala benefits all I remember na deputy dol host jang ila argument mo mti wolonko ning mansami be siring ni ala salary na ala package especially ala retirement package a former president iko niyo ke ibaje loko aba corruption o talala le bayri ni mansa you know if you pay people very well abe ikatu corruption o talala
that's what monkey argument daji kolomu there's no amount of money even mendila mola me yalo for his corrupting nature wa monkey kumade kaf ko ni ko be corruption of fankala no look Tala Dr. Marina Dr. Marina Keba.
Yeah.
Ala ideology. Sa Dawda. Ay men Fatou. Mo be jantak fem be palaso nyininka. O budgeto yo ke la karantati. Corruption. He was not corrupt. Wala salary munetino. Was pittance.
Yeah.
But as I was attacking. Kava ko min palaso en ko dela ngani ko be do ko kala moli. Bunya palaso lo. So ni bunya palaso din ngana fa ko mbo kala ko din nan lati. Nata opportunity me ba fana opportunity to corrupt but na mamang trailer in mari la daji koto. Adi imari man office onye mamuta ko e ba kala fenyinin lalti. Sawa? Ning Josepha itatala. Doke ka fanya mino mba manual ni mba sukuta nyoli la sati wal muso loga musikadi no be ikamen bedo kusanto. Ni abe wafi wulke matasila. Ino doku babe ite wulke mosila. Do sin air condition fonko kono. Kana fa wulke melul diala. Ate the panso de panstakan.
So ni UDP man sakunda nata. If you become the next president, would you look at revising?
In fact, I will lead by example. A budget leke, Kavako, President Nyantanyene Sotla. And I would make it. In fact, last president, I made a declaration. Kavako, Benafsari no, Bakotlemen. And I would expect ministers to follow suit. Nada kafu na confidence to Fatou reto nko ena pur ngado ko ke but yaja kafu ko be jola mena what samba nola you can decline kafu candidate nta no but I would expect ministers also to follow suit. The only Melia kafu can defend is the civil servants. Because they're very poorly paid. They are very poorly paid, and they are the people who have faldo wonye. Itelekake. It can be budget from coming, but the technicians will sit several months putting these things together.
Yeah.
Then Jonya Takela. Nyata Jokendo Sotla.
Need you from Celano because Kabriben vice president. You know what I always tell people. When I look at people, and if I see otherwise, we'll bring it to the table. Kabriben Vice President Yara, what we can see was after 4, you never drove the office car. Nindo Kobanta, you were using your private car. You never lived in the vice president's residence. You always lived in your house. Even ngaminje ni model ni security budget ika yimbarial fengol minna tika masakunda kana million spend la cordato just for security. You never accepted all of that. Why was that? Why is this that you wanted to live, continue to live in a normal life? And obviously fanang natra no ye fenke no masakunda no ngalon ko 2021 campaign for bi campaign yo keta nyami telnum afintitano. Not any corrupt fenko involved that. So we could go back on record and say maybe that's something you will definitely
I'll definitely do it. Katu memo nka ya jama nka kirsas mena kafka manyi ikakulke manya nakela. Muna yati nantanya na lokela. But I know okay, I'm not being truthful. Oto ya jame mba pokmol fokang baka mba hasidi akane. Anala masukunda be hasidi yana. Kafu konyaje mbofola ma opportunity le serkake. Because government vehicles, why should you use them for your personal private business? Why should you? Amanya nakela. And at the expense of the government we are criticizing Jame and the administration for doing that. If take tata position auto, me yalonka at one time Jamela administration yol doltara position auto. Muni atina nyanto kela nko ko me yalonka fuka konta la manya nakela. Nanda nanyanta lokela. My conscience wouldn't allow me to do that. So really, we are not in this thing. We are not in this thing, Kafoko, is a money-making enterprise. Well, any money-making enterprise, I would have stayed in a private practice, non international contacts, farms of solicitation, represent from UK, whatever. I'll continue with them, and I'll quietly making my money. I was quietly making my money before I doing politics. I would have continued in that if it was for that, but I thought the situation in the country was such, and go killing, and a burden was placed on me for me to take the burden. Ngata fana nyanta tilina mol yele. Ninga pala so nyin soto. Manyan na mol kala selen dangti. Katawa pala soto. Melan ko peduma nke jube. Really, all arguments because you want to get ministers nearly free from corruption and those types of things. Yeah. In the first place, every minister should be able to live on his own without even being appointed as a minister. Yes. You should have that ability, that capability. Yes. So that ni bota minister yala abuke do. You are doing something productive. See find someone in fact maybe see find someone better than ni minister to atomen. Usifa lenyanta talaka wala sifa lenyanta appoint last ministers. But me la lonka korele ni obani minister yala isi jakali all the minister was problem
no problem. So do you think these allocations in the budget reflects our national priorities? Debt servicing takes half of our budget.
It's almost like one quarter. Almost one quarter of our budget. That is unpardonable.
Wow. Ngajulol
melta. Ado wajulolu. Abumba betata. Sanji woro wula uchole kono. Sanji tansa bo men tambita. Sanji tansa bo men tambita. Ani
jawara time oni barot jame time oni abi la nyoka.
Wala siata.
7 years wala siata. One usab is it because tinyar bale ketanu nying sanyi moni lulo kono man sakunda bole derakang fo barinte jikita ko fanang good will min dunta nyim banko kang nyi 7 years okono aman dum banko kang any time of our life. I don't think so. Why do we munana kodi jama tata mo julo siata bar kono min fanan dunta siata le munatna mune wosa
yalo mfanje alinje dokuo julo jama men tata wala mo kole ko yole ke bankoto silolo mo ma fa silo manyana do kula de wallahi silo nyanta do kula de bari momo ni bela sumang bonla ikela buntun kono jubela ila sumang be nyame ikana fo ebe bawo manu bawo jifonko nyo padun tan be jeto adu wonyo padun tan asita til tan la enyo padun lulu be bondi e ko bo be surala yo be do lunkilin kono aka problème di moma fa silol kana do ko bari kana nyin julol ta ko be silol do ko la nabe kala fanan nyantale ila programme wanye ya graduate ni yak in stages bari afu ko be sapla be kan sinya kele hakale sanji jol leta
meta kabrina
sanji jol
meta
kabrina ma sankoto
meta
kunun ko ko kabanta o wucho kono ko do damman na kata don ko be jedo ko adu ab kakimuneti julo adu julo nata ta faijo
pasijo na current debt is at 139 billion 70.4% of the of our GDP as of June 30th, 2025. 139 billion.
And is going to increase.
Ni atalante mantol mo juli jere ben.
It's going to increase. Muringlu.
Tabana jol.
And it's going to increase. It's going to increase. Kato government imam pare mezo stala. Me yalon kafoko na productive sectors nyolo. It's going to finance la nyama. So that na earning capacities increase no. Ye kodi tourism la. Kodomo investment in tourism.
Yeah.
It's negligible. Every year, tourists, every time they'll come to see the same thing.
Yeah.
No more not one twice. There's nothing interesting. So in the products, there has to be variety in our products. Nyanta sell to the tourists. Naba yata ya di tu babol adiate nyame yake. Mo faso mo mana se baby nala in our theory ibe fishing na jeto ni tele tata carton beaches nyolto wala sanya nyolto yena foko ika mira ka foko sa tolle be na bakono bella ibe ika kulu lazim be na kulu ika mira ka fo sa tolle be jeto wal be ibe illegal fishing la mantra fenke kan me alon ka foko na marine resources nyolo nyanta ka protect na ninga protect fana nga exploit pour banque ding la na fana na info ka cha dolto go banque ding lu me alon ka foko fen soto to kare ibe bul lo kan pour ka ke holiday homes nyolti abete ata barin ko ya kafu nyoma ya trawlers nyol sang so that na Gambian companies na Gambia dinglo na marine resources nyolo is exploit no le trawlers nyol sang ila catches nyol ibelan la janeto banana ke process ya export but mera Gambia companies bijanto mera kaf ko their own trawlers mamira mamira and ngamira kafko nyinem kuti masakunda nyanta men encourage la that was the time we had a fish marketing corporation janto no
Yeah.
Okay wo fatale but even during Jawara's time bari femanya na mol balila Gambia dingul melan kafko fensoto yellow resources nyol put together, and in this regard I think this is one of the things diaspora, apart from remittances,
yeah,
for the family upkeep, or remittances only for family upkeep. I don't think a significant part of it is in investments. Not in investment for in real estate investment.
Yes.
But this type of venture, the Namira Nyanta Yoke, all their resources together. I know there are, very entrepreneur oriented individuals among them. The business acumen is very high.
Yeah.
And they know in what areas investments can have good returns. You often invest in the economy of the country, because one thing we really want, that the economy of this country be controlled by ourselves. It doesn't matter who they are, but I keep on doing it.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. For my final question on the budget is the youth budget. The youth allocation is 100 and something. And I look at that, for me, but I look at that. If you want to have an idea, more priority, money, if the over 50% of the population is youthful population, but 100 is, I think, Ministry of Youths, last budget but funding kila nafa be nyanta bola world ila development and skills training and ko be nyanta bola world compared to other areas. We are spending 2 billion on Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We're spending almost $1 million on Office of the President and other areas. What does that say about Mansakundala hamo pour funding ker
ila hamenta yoda mane tandide ila hamenta le baya le nia fe ka fe ko bod matters affecting is cross cutting. It's a cross cutting issue. This is youth and sports. Not as cross cutting issue.
Yeah.
Now investment may in agriculture. Segregate bank. Ya fanya ko na me allocation make agriculture. This part of it. So this percentage of it is for the youths. Tell me, neighbor no a segregating your bank. This part, so much of this is for the youths. Now bad use for livestock. Bad language for poultry. Yeah, they will not be able to do it. Can you go cross cutting? I mean, in the health, the allocation make a health. Tell me that allocation, what percentage of that is for the benefits of the youths? So don't tell me Kavoko youth from is a cross cutting. Ila ministry youth empowerment, all their should be controlled by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So for me it's really a non-starter. It's not an argument that is valid. It just shows kwenye manza kunda funding kela kuo amam kela priority at all. Yes.
Yeah. Now let's look at the Meet the People store on Mimbekon ongoing right now. Ngalune ko constitutional mandate lang mi along ko sa osang president wanyanta tala sinyakili waramfula purani banko dingole kacha kila ila sula ko fa ne ata fana agenda munati for the year banko la direction of tembe da minta lafta minna. We will come to the messaging, but I want to look at the budget of the tour. In 2020, National Assembly budgeted 6 million, but being the people tour they spent 32.6 million. In 2021, 36 million was budgeted. They spent 43.2 million. That is 2021. In 2022, Ajita, 6 million was allocated. They spent 25.3 million. In 2023, 10 million, by 10 million allocated. 61.36 million was spent.
Yeah.
In 2024, 30 million was allocated, and they spent 64.67 million. In 2025, 40 million is allocated. Malo Jele spent
70 million.
Malo Jele
Yeah.
And in 2026, they have allocated 52 million. At some point, some $1 million Kemela pour Meet the People store. This report is telling you that 52 million was approved for the Meet the People tour between 2020 to 2024.
Yeah.
But 226 million was spent. 290% over. That's about 168 million. But these are things that have been allocated by the National Assembly. The executive yala power soto, National Assembly yala power soto, judiciary yala power soto. If the Assembly allocates this much, 58, and you end up spending 228, what are the consequences?
Well, unfortunately,
Yeah.
Naluas any provision for that. You know, and I think no Keta, the accounting officers,
Yeah.
was responsible. I mean, it should be surcharged. Should be surcharged, or National Assembly to refuse to approve a supplementary appropriation bill which might allocate additional sums for this Meet the People tour. I mean, after all, you are given an amount. This is what you must spend on this particular project. Why do you have to spend more than that? Why? What justification do you have? In the first place, I think the National Assembly should say we are going to, really provide money for this category of officials. On this people talk.
Yeah.
You cannot take every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Public servants who have no place. Yeah. On this door, because their presence is irrelevant. They just swell the crowd. But wakola fana ina mul soto jeto walanka they are not even in the public service. Yeah. And party supporters, that should stop. Yeah, Jame, he was wasteful. But in my mirror, I will spend more than $10 million on any media people talk. I don't think he did. Why should we now be spending $50 million? That $50 million is satanole. Ya san fertilizer jamala nyambani jama yadi selala free. Ba bita ko pasa prasola. Ni wadi senala wala senala nafala. Or 50 million. Zatale ye boreholes nyol sing dulalto. I was watching on the news Wulli ye borehole to abodo le nata jet, I think Spanish nyol no ye borehole sinjeto and ye be bafla kafu ko this long overdue. Deputy from Bijeto, the National Assembly member, I think Wulli West Abijeto, Deputy Governor Bijeto. And I thought, camera cover, this is shameful. In the community, people coming from outside, when we are spending millions of dollars, kata fonkola kata tola.
So what
this 52 million in Memphis, spend 12 million on mid-farm farmers, which I don't think was even necessary. The 40 million, how many scholarships will that give? Almost 1,000 students would be sponsored from that. Now, you want to build a society, a knowledge-based society. Society may allow for Kafka. The kids are going to be skilled. You train them in various skills. Or could pump it in those areas. The skill, bending may teach in various skills. Never pass out la. Ila joran ibe sula la mela. Incompetence nyolo. By the kids for the male of ordinarily, this one, nim plumbers nyolo, nim mechanics nyolo. You do that. And then you push them into the wall. Yet let them fend for themselves. They have learned a skill. They have joran bebulu ila doko ni sake mo nyamen yebuleta dunia kono mel kun fata they'll make it. Electricians but $52 million yata really mbanyanta balo Gambia government led by Baro anyan balo nyanta fala Gambia dinglele ye balo famolia palwa bokolearin Kodonyi, kana pasar pas kafu kabijedo, omanya na kenle, iba use line this way. You have conscience, komo lelo kwa natal pur kalma kwe. Iko ibakar la, ito company kalko, main boto bitala $700. And that reminds me, Fatu, 1996.
Yeah.
The video bitaka, I was in Garawal, I looked at it and go, hey, this is Ousainu Darboe.
Oh wow, in 96, right?
Kangaji bango, this is Ousainu Darboe. And I just said, look, these elections, don't vote in Jami. Because if you do, man botoni, Albasana, $400 or $500. That was my prediction.
That was 96.
96. The video is going around. Now, need a promise call Beman bought in bar to $700. In Yentale, ila Department of Agriculture. In well nyanta nyomola programs mela mko rice production in Bangkok about increase la. And then the importation, rice importation about reduce la, because you have to have honey bastagala, for a period of 5 years, so that you would cease to import rice in your first 5 years. But you have to invest in it.
Yeah.
And investment ni bankala ibe ifamba la kulela like the salary increase for the office for the president.
Yeah.
Ibe famba la wala the salary be increase la increase messengers nyolu ni no sinding ni police sinding. But the political class, the big political class, no, they should not have an mamra nyanta political nyanta increases no sort la. Okodolo. Yeah, yata ando kola fana ibe mako romen fana sotla. I don't know what happened to the 50 million euro Amarsan and I got from France. I don't know what happened to it. It's supposed to be invested in the agriculture sector. I don't know what happened to it because that was done to boost up production, rice production in the country.
Yeah.
But then, really, you cannot have this type of budget and then expect Kafoko, the productive sectors of this country, be survive no. I mean, they'll perform the way they will perform. Because if they're underfunded, they certainly will also not be able to do, to produce or perform the way they're expected to perform.
Mina thought back on the messaging, but if emergency, Amadou Sane, and I wanted to come to the vehicle policy. Kabra Albeman Sakona, Amadou Sane, when he was finance minister, he came up with this vehicle policy. Me alko mojama believe the kono when in effect be at least the expenditure on vehicles would have gone down. Being a motole and million tanning fula and honey simple advices or being million tanning fula motole borga. But this report by Gambe participated because since 2020, Gambe government spending on vehicles have reached a substantial $5.3 billion, covering vehicle purchases, maintenance, and running costs. The highest expenditure was recorded in 2025, $1.2 billion, followed by a budget of 2024, 1.120, mainly due to the OIC vehicles, obviously. But in 4 years, 5.3 billion on motor dama, motor sangola costing. So how? Because come here for when you invest on the productive sector, akafene yilna. But motor value, value
it starts depreciating.
So how is that anyway effective for the growth of our economy?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, it certainly weakens the growth of our economy because kodoni anyanta kala dame imanta ke kanwoto amanya na kala dame ka ke waldo. Yeah, well, vehicle policy, of course. Baro government, but we always call it Amadou Sane policy because as Minister of Finance initiate, and it was approved by cabinet, and of course what that year's budget took into account of vehicle policy. The service member kala $300 million, the service member kala jeto, applying that, to the productive sectors of the side of the economy. Was agreed upon, and National Assembly, your budget year passed. And it was in basis of that, the appropriation bill year passed, the Appropriation Act for that financial year. When government reneged on it, I think probably 1 or 2 members of National Assembly should have gone to court and said, look, we passed this bill. This is the law. We are not going to allow the executive to really renege on that because it was already passed as the law, as a law in that year. So the National Assembly should have only at best they bring the Minister of Finance, whether it's Ousainu Darboe, who was Minister of Finance, any other Minister of Finance, to say, look, we passed this bill here. You are not implementing it. Why? That would have been one of the greatest oversight functions that the National Assembly would have performed. But just slipped off. And then, as you see, instead of saving 300 million, now it's increasing into billions.
5.3 billion in 4 years.
Into billions.
5.9.
How can you really re-energize your economy if the assets in which you can invest, depreciating assets? If the assets may not appreciate, then you can say, well, yes, Babylon for this time, I'll dispose of them, and then get good money. But Malakaf is depreciating by the day. Yeah, and the accountant knows if and when they are depreciated and so on, then after 2-3 years it becomes worthless.
They buy a new one.
It becomes worthless. So Gambian ko nyanta mello na walong kafako barona la molu. Sidiketa sama ngamira sama la bita ko ba fola. Debite bunto. Mantra ke kampur Gambian ko la nafakan. Ibake kampur te fang la nafano. Kata nyima to kutabal sa ebe workshops nyol kala seminars here and there. Ministers nyol be yaila. Meeting no yalong kafako really permanent secretary nyanta kata meeting mento. Munana minister nyanta tala auto. Meeting melang ko technicians nyolo. Minister bitala auto. Hanat rafanan sofang in the ministerial committee lamu. Wallahi. Ministers nyol dodo. They will say, look, PS, you go and attend this meeting.
Yeah.
Just as the president could say, foreign minister, you attend this meeting. So that the cost is considerably reduced. Because vice president, any of them need travel at any time, and the cost is higher than that of when the foreign minister goes. You can have those delegate responsibilities. Bankundim fentembulu, a monkey kafko malafa kala, but by the kamola kafoko, really, nyanta nyinekela. And one thing really, struck me, Nimbe travels. One, as minister, I'm in a business class. Maybe the director and some other person, may encounter technicians who are going to do the donkey work. They're in the economic class. Tight, uncomfortable. Maybe when we arrive at our destination, I'm in a luxurious
hotel,
luxurious room. Maybe share the same room, but very luxurious room. Everything, at my column. But those technicians, they are not enjoying that, and they are doing the donkey work. And I thought Kafako Mukul at America we should really think about. We cannot travel business class. Ibita Melia, Kafako Makwe. Well, that they were officers of your own rank. They travel economy. A typical example is China. High, very high officers, they all travel economy. You travel first class. And maybe sometimes you travel with some of them on the same plane. These are things me along Kafka really need rethinking.
They need to rethink.
Mukulet me along Kafka really. A manjare fan Kafka moya for you see nyanta silal Kafka for nyanta nyine kalabang. You cannot get engaged in those type of things. You don't empathize with the people. If you don't have any empathy for the people, really, you cannot think that way. Yeah?
So going back to the Meet the People store, is the message also, Mia Lonko? I remember last week, normally they went on Vox Pop. Normally, we'll just go around the country. And we were just gauging the opinion on Mole Meet the People store. Jama ngamin the video to the no interview ko. I feel like it was more of a political tour. Message of member campaign yola manke bankola na fakuti. Meet the People told a messaging in.
Well, certainly, in fact, ko manke campaign toti, amari mantara young folk men into Nyamuliata. Really, Najube, Lua meant for about Meet the People store. Because some was some. President Nyata Talale, that's Lua Nyawanya, senior killing. Kata banko kang, Kajube Maralo, la mansa kuna la marlinya, abe menke kang banku dinglia. Ayelame banku dingil fanala sudola. Bari nyen tonyin mama follow any serious statement or government ye masakundala longkang masakundala menkan kambanko e ika menkata ku serious en ka fo mama
e borko folko ako loptano boro ako hane America boro da ko yata ako molka ba America kane jara
bariano
loptano ko
bariano Fatou, see, with all due respect to President, yala ala officer bunya palas balomo.
Yeah.
Bunya palas wa kamala wale ata kumodolo. Asuti ya ningla nyawo nyanta
fono.
Kat ningo fo mo palas wonyi bole doya kan. Adumanya no palas doya na. Bade president fan ya lonne kavoko abok mo fo kantu mamena ajututo mollela bedi am kammelia kavoko wallahi akilo ajuta walla mo brana kulintilal America kana janto ko bina jaro rol
abra mo fin jaro rol amal loptano fo
ko wado mota bal America ko bina jaro la mo bina mo fi jaro la munna mo fi jaro mo fi bina wala munna la bar bambe ma ajutu wallahi ajutu mo la ko batu men dia tanye na foy iten sosola ban mota sosola fana ba kulamu na ya fo amanga kaf ko ni be kacha kante yan fo yan jakande woti je
hani woti je
bar benga la na kaf ko wota kenola kunu Tata Sarakunda Hospital. Tata mole jube bar ngata ya discharge. Ban ni mo benta ngamelong. Ko ala bahadi ya men sama loptano to. Yole landi jeto ya samba tiara ya operate. Itata boro lesang. Aye itandina. Akunu aye itandina. Bar nyumanka kulo di banko kanjang. Kavoko inita talaptano to near boro safe 90% of it all current one wala kasam go denanulu denan sabakela laran kilinka wala kana fo ko baragle na loptano kono janto wala keno la kusotorente.
Never example of President Obama Cabrasa Gambia Loptano because I say if the healthcare system was really good, there was not going to be no need for Senegal. I think that's why we need
to yes, again, yes, again, Tonya Mobile Kasasa, and again, you know, many Mukala for reference la ala I know that
healthcare better.
I know that.
I
know that entire reference la muske banyina bar sa reference men Kakavoko Munayatina, you have a budgetary allocation for overseas treatment. Nadra Kavoko, Nalopta, all our problems, our health, they can take care of them. Why do you have to have that?
Overseas treatment.
Why do you have to have that? And this overseas treatment, not for you, a Gambian citizen. A Gambian citizen, but not for you. It's not for me. The Koila ministers knew, and some of their top officials. Well, labor enjoy that, you know. But between the banding member Dobo, no one mentioned no bands and Loptano, where we are not banning the Janto, you know. The overseas treatment, they cannot benefit from it.
From that.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things you don't manke to found but me alonko you president ko nyinang iko sifo ni alkalo be campaign kela president oil andungamira one of the main reasons Molo 2016. I remember this was honey after 2016 found 2019 President Barrow was very, very clear. Kafuko alkalo ni se for amanda fiedum political kono because imo traditional leader. He was very clear. I keep seeing that video popping out. But in Yanang iko tonya se for ni alkalo kato ako ateleke tomo. A moment point. Very tight salary deal. So they are only the president, you know. Ako justice minister.
Well, anyway, okay. But let me thank I think sometimes more kanjinale and or transition yolo another manjinala, but we couldn't care about those wars. Adumbukata fanan kavoko be palaso mento ninga kumofo mol bajala nyamin natra moke fenti woto betla kalaw kumo damane kala well in the first place ko la kalo tombo bare afa do wal kalo retel bu ko tombonde
do wal kalo do bu
afa do wal kalo Dobo California, member California Dobo. Yeah, man. Similar budget, member California. Wala kava ko kari, kasati ya mol tombo, kili kava ko kari. Nganyina mota alkal wati. Masa kuna bukantel alkal tombo. Ado masa kuna tentel alkal tombo nanyi. Ado masa kuna titala kampanyola. Dobo alkal ta kampanyola. Mume, no bita kampanyola la usienda wale. Ado mota bon la fana. Kadu kata mwale kela wasato, kalkalo to sato to, mimi sila odulato. So, kumasi falo, really, anga kana song, mwal ko kachafang, kadu ko dimina kuolom. Mwala chosan sato. Mwala alonka kuwele kakeje alkalote, iko kono man ko be bondela. Tonyola amafo, campaign, during the tour. Bari, I have a sukuta. Adi memfa yente malo akumoko no. Kabro 1996 UDP afa Adama Barrow nata kafumema 2007 ntutanyine kumbola kafu kwa nyama nyana kela. Ni Hamad Babu yenye kumbole 1996 and I'm surprised kafu Hamad Basita on this tour kafu alkalo la be threatening la kafu ka be sula nga heading newspaper la kafu ka be sula mkuma sifano wote fama baka memfo ya jamema fako mkuma memfo fama la kafu ko lom tonyade fanata da mala kafu ko mom ko memfo wala mtonyade ba nata kafu ko mtonyade amanya na sonno kumoy fo kafuto ate betala kafu bet surta take ministry me responsibility wadula amanya na sonna wada yini yatinna mol kafu ko politics is dirty and politics is not dirty wala la mol ka politics is dirty bate katu really itete yaya jame campaign ka gezi ya jame kuma be fa jame kafu ka kanyinka amanya na kela ite na turn around kafu ko na le nyinke kadu kontel ngal employee
Mari, are you surprised? Because what I meant, President Bako 22 years have a UDP. I'm opposition not. For than opposition.
I'm opposition.
I talk on I'm for opposition on money.
But ako call mole diamu. Adebedo ko nin diamu ya jame bondi janto de.
Ako kunta ya fenko at.
Ngado kunta ya ato kunta well but fat no me manka kumati really Gambian ko nyante fa engage la men. Hadama ding mo do ni fo mol ke ila haklola yara e college. Kadu ko sanji mo ni fula. Ite mo menti. Sa mil moti ite ko kolte fenti. Wada trattamento no wada mantra fento no. Mamma ni kala kutura li menyanta kala kacha kuti. Men kam malu ko no. Ni kumodo ala kam malu le. Ka ko na president lota kumodo fa dala. O kam malu le. Ko nsinyolo. Ibe siri bella mala. Ya fa mandin ka kanto ya moy. Ya ka kaw kanta ya moy. Wala na zikavu ko he nyilam nyimbanko dunke nyino mila nyato ko le matun ka diamte o kam malu bakale o kam malu bake ya fa ko oppositional defende wala na clip doje rapado ba fa ko ba ko to ba ko to fo jolte ina warnak ayayel male na do da way round ina me alon ka fa ko is quite distasteful. It's quite distasteful. Kaduka for president, you know, it's distasteful.
But I think I keep saying this. Bangkok, every country needs a strong opposition, a strong media, a strong civil society to be able to hold government accountable. Minkaji masakunda platform to all the time. There's no credible opposition. And then sometimes even media for another rule question because of obviously we're trying to hold them accountable. Niko there's no credible opposition. Ite America ika opposition ole doyandi, but Bankola kumaya fongo iko doyandi because obviously if you say there's no credible, Dr. Sisiko there's no credible, and are you for Senegal? The Senegalese media.
Niko there's no credible opposition. You mean there's no opposition who thinks the way you think? Ita ke mira nyame. Opposition to jamen ke mira ko rek me ke mira nyame. Mira li amen ka fuko amanke banko la nafate. Mira li amen ka fuko me ko sambara banko kan. Mira li amen ka fuko wala ka fuko mtesimen sotno jumno. Mtesimen sotno ku manzakunda kono. 29 Kavako tellement que credible opposition. United, at least speaking for United Democratic Party, Sanji Tansanji Mani Konoto, Jarmi Kala Sanji Tansabati. Yawe. The law from Koluna Jijaro Kawato at Kalafaba, you call make a credible opposition. Nime yo mere telemanke any credible person. Melialon Kafo B. It bears lowering on the opposition platform. One of credible politicians in this country. Melalam Kavoko, it had a year from Wafi. Well, among credible politicians. And Walamira Linya cannot be the way we think. And Lamira is more for the Bankudilla Haju Anila Nafa. Not Mayalon Kavoko, a ben sustain. To provide us a source of living. Honey, we can't tell me in politics. Not until man credible no. And then, do not be long, at least UDP movement in Bangkok, UDP movement West Africa. If we can bambela kumo fono without UDP, and that is because we are credible. Adung, the period that we are in government, you cannot put anything on Ahmad Sani except Sobeya. You couldn't put anything on Lamin Diba except Sobeya. You cannot put anything on Ousainu Darboe except Sobeya.
How did you guys manage to do that? Because that's something I will keep asking. I remember 2021 presidential election. Anytime, go here, maybe the last minute, people keep thinking, at least you were in government, there's some dirt, there might be some dirt. Me along corruption, but not a single member of Allah Molminum cabinet. Man finje min finta min satandi ko ale nyina ke ya on ka jele sa fud lado hanni ma kay to je barin ka fengol moy le nyin keta nyin lado nyi brato ila molbe ni be ne
because don't tell a government with a belief, with a mission, and our belief is kavoko. You have to be do ko kala banko yele nganiola ko di ni te dun le masakunda. Believe la kafu kon kamen fa ya jamema international phone finalma be guarded against that malafi moya bulo chojin, and we are very mindful of that. Go na kuma kanake kuma kensin na mate kamen fa kunu ya jamema nan fa soto afotamma wanyanta kelan telefon falete. Because I'm malo, we cannot carry it. I don't come out for Nyame. Man doing that Kafka wanted money. I'm a son, my chartered accountant, had a lot of clients, a lot of professional phone, alhamdulillah, a lot of farming activities, I was getting, Kala family sustained, no. So there was nothing. Me yalon kafka anyantentel pushla kasar banko la sartol ketinya. In fact, menyanta kwen dalfan ngongo sanyi jama membeke kelola wala nyanta kelantelie daliloti me yadna banko la sartol ni kanta. I traveled that period menna ngaja kafka no longer have any use pour kasejot muruta na ngaro menke jobate my protocol kafka makoy so that I don't have to stay longer. Can change ke so that I can come back home.
I remember Lamisana said that in the documentary.
Nata no padiamo memes namurunde because I'm not entitled to it. Because you have to spend it. It's at a time moment. Inyanta depends. Inyanta akodo use la jelto. Nima use. Adun really itate. Return it to government. Yes.
So back to the final question, Toto. Samate ko ibeki inata kiana iseta number kian kabiwe kian Minister of Health diamta yako 2 years ago. For 2 years lo man kabata UN ako last September do UDP ko le mobilize ta kaneng New York kadenka mol mobilize pour kaneng ako bal nyina almo nya so de nyina alwe alda malwe nyok mo faraka almo class.
Well, you see, Amadou, I really in political phone koto ala karola aka don kado aka ndi malum. LS, now we are classmates, and Benjamin school relationship, we still maintain that, and we have a lot of respect for each other, and really for Amadou Ndinglomu, Nimoya Banning. You offend me. Kado Obama, kado Obama muskendelti, momanyana and nenna, political carola. But my surprise is ne Amaduko UDP called them. They may be Gambians, but not necessarily UDP. Loved her, Wala Amadou. Aladokuo. Ala professional fonko mobile sonda kavuko ayala doko nonya mobile yakule ala doko kam adu laftale go I continue wanya kala professional fonko I continue. There's my son I'll be happy to see him. You have Professor Gomez, technocrat, mo bukan moy, ni politiko mo la. Hani Abdou Diop. Ibu kama politiko mo la.
Baro ko nyina be campaign ko.
Wala for bari look. Professor Gomez wale ku sotole. Be amadal mbaya marla men as my son. Kodukare kana dabula politiko to. Niaje yaki misafet ala professional competence, ala professional qualification, kavoko, he will add value to our health service delivery system. Professional be gender, he'll approach them and address them professionally. Let him be apolitical. Wala be dialanye malafi ani molbe nyos amalafa ni mosa kavoko UDP nkolo muna da ko UDP nkolo ba UDP lo pose ngalo amada mafaru fana neta jago ako Gambia no UDP
diaspora
ko UDP diaspora ina hani banko kanjani ko taf ko UDP nkolo ndo ko ata kensenke but honestly I really like Amadou to really be apolitical, and I'm giving him this fatherly advice. He has a bright future in this profession. I don't know. He has a long way. You know, akana song anin Gambian kodi nyoda political kan. Ala do community. I implement all policies will defend, but let him stop being political. Mbaya marla wala.
Baroko kia ako join aka. Ako silang yo politi yini ndon tuje ila ambition o tuje e join aka barnga mamal fulo ka bi nka ko ala baroko yal na leader ta join aka sila ali da hala fa ka da handile nga ngol fulo nyini nka.
Well ena fa ba mano ay nyori je to meliano ena yake.
Ana baro mano. Foi mama ya minfo. Ako the Gambian di advice kan. Ako ni abondi ni abondi ye plaso di modola. Ako bita luso nyin la ka nyini. Andate muruna nande.
Nko hanna lafta muruna te muruna lande.
Akate muruna nande.
Hanna lafta muruna ate muruna.
Aben dandala kanede pro yalo ngadra ngari elect.
Hanna lafta muruna ate muruna lanam. Ado abitale adiata abitale 2026 adiata abitale akwata adia abitale ndenga mera nyanta menkela ala afaga menkole ko alien bunya alien koroma sanji tang akanyanta alimbenga den kote ngamoy kote njube ndesa wode lafta aliadi karla kana ko sen dawud ay ke mo kote ndesa aliadi karla wala be nyinyala
be silan ka fuka joina ka min fudu nyaadi lo ko wakide na joina ka
ko ngada joina ka ya jamano kono minisa dole ne yo fanya kay ko he ente de pour kata adam kata join ada ya jamia kay ko wode amira de popio tuba ke muslim wala be sono ala wodi
to baro fana ni sono
popio tuba ke muslim wodi wala be sono yala ni tangata join tangata NPP tangata ka join ala
to pale
katu ko satole bole tinyaka watome tata yo fodame that was a pure campaign. A mantra government policy franka bankudu la haja mantra franka go on picking quarrel with VDC Imam Fana president
and then Badibu Salike
picking quarrel with people there president
anu mingena grauta in one of the in URR ngama funguli lo fo sandubang ako wole ko janna ba fulanye ko lafta nyina atenten tulo ngamin kali
yemune ke atela fate folle
ko do ndi fo
folle ma hanata bankol folle ma te bunya yemol be jube ye kato ka ko na ngeke nyen atela nyantol tentula ke jay atela lahido teye ko alin kiten vanan benyin kelali so nole ku kai atenjanto letel nyanto tentula katu tumamena abe majum estate amanke fendi amuna ke wulinkoli amune ke sankule kundan koli amune ke sankle sal kenyon koli man kaman kundan aguluta da amune ke so mole pala so dila ijikite la kafu kumpa pala men dila la na hajo libeno lola ngana kumal fa kafu ko ngana wosi dal kafu ko mama manyana wosi la but ye wosi dila le ya fukal nyantan tent la ngamen kali
na ka do nyin ka
but jutu na ya lomu but akadiam mel ajutu wala la
but I will badi ufana akobe bana
wala nko akadiam mel ajutu wala la
akoba di bunkole ko ninkana anka ko kale watu wati watu pe siya be batala le
nkole fo jutu na ya man tambi wala akadiam mel ajutu wala la akanyin jutu na ya diamo memfo wanafa abojala 2026 abojala 2026 oh yes ame molu alfa kumbanil besirin ka fole ko alnin fankenda kam ko kelem president melia kendi tele ke president e ka kibir palace ni tele sindi jeto dunya bunya ite mu dunya la bunya no faso be yo bunda yelete wo mo te mol tentu fota ka fole ka ten nyantante tentu la adi kamen ke yeta manke la koditi dip tele ko kodo allocate 5 months rabo jeto nabe slow da dala ka ba monde kunda kala dip tele mo kodo wala ko slow men fo sal kenya slow man saho wala approve amman kala koditi
namna na Suleiman ba fula mole kana finti muna na Suleiman ka mole kana finti
muna na ka mole kana finti
ha ka tuba ko president kana
ni bita propaganda muna na nyanda fundila ibita propaganda wala nabita government business la of course na matala wala nako UDP government
atol beto
hanwe nimba kala
because gambe to nato nya gambe no imanyin to ma mallafala camera send ya na kira ntina logo is kind of political. And at the end of the day, you have to pay me for me to come and cover this. Stories more one day, but kana camera will in the kana kodojo. I don't feel it was necessary because I feel it was, and I think a lot of Gambians say Ajeloko is political.
Well, yeah, no,
you man sakunda ibe mune kela kajiko bankola kudo makana wasting sanji nani million keme fula. And in one say meet the people told on sanji nani.
They'll be the politicized lele. Oh, but according constitution la nyame ono ita bolon kono the community yeta ye kutema ye lamaila ila hajolo ifana ila mansukunda ye planal mensoto kuola ila dulalto ya explain here in the first place nintel bitali dama the regions nyolo all the National Assembly members me as president mbebe sa felale signed the letter ko bitala executive legislature bita ko menna it's a common problem and can we all address it because you come to the National Assembly can the honorable minister of so and so inform this August Assembly what and so and so for affecting his constituency. So we'll invite all National Assembly members. Betala Milla Dulalto, and the letter, if it invitation, will be signed by me, not by Chief of Staff or by Secretary General, to show the National Assembly members that you are co-equal partners in this matter. Will be done. And of course, in the regions, you have directors. In all the regions, director of health, any region you have a director of health. Any region you have a director of agriculture, director of education, regional education officers, you'll have them. And at least in North Bank, you have the Farafenni District Hospital. You have the administrator jet. Bansang, you have the Farad Hospital jet. You also have the administrator. Junkun, I mean, Buyam, Buyam General Hospital, they all have administrators. The hospital administrators, together with the regional directors of health, they should really be there to give you the technical backup. You don't need to take the Minister of Health. After the Minister of Health, we will also be depending on those officers, JETO.
Yeah.
We'll be depending on them. The same thing for agriculture. You don't have to take the Minister of Agriculture. So these regional directors, and maybe have the senior assistant secretaries in these ministries, also to be part of the delegation. And it will be a very lean delegation. It will be a very lean delegation.
A politician will transport.
No way. No not every time do quarter. You don't need that crowd. You don't need ambience. Nimpare tala wala watu bene. Mbe kankula rokelale. Kavu ko UDP ko bi. Mina UDP ta molla de. Man la fi feñal na man kenete mun ko de. Na funde ngata UDP ko kan. Ani gambe ko mela no kavu ko imantra UDP bari ko be party ko tendo kana to join us. We'll do that. But really the government could not be spend lamenka. One will be a very lean delegation. And the period for now shouldn't be that long.
Yeah.
Nimbanku nile kacha ila digital fana bijeto ila digital fana liye kumo fo ila ftemene ila banko mole ila banko nyat. Yeah, and we take the notes halfway through the tour. The technicians have a review meeting of problems, and then we are getting advice directly. We get advice directly from technicians. The regional director for education will tell us, this problem you intend. I suggest we address it this way. I suggest we address it that way. What's going on? In that way, you will not even spend $10 million. You'll spend far less than $10 million because we didn't have to go with all these. I don't know, several vehicles. The petrol consumption high, accommodation, everything.
Motokendo masakundari ka.
Yeah, better. And then of course the government comes to a virtual standstill because ministers are not there, permanent secretaries are not there. So many additional tala, they are all out there. Masakunda mtatala tamala. This is the way we'll do it. This is the way we'll do it.
Yeah, well, they were thank God until we are not covering the tour because we feel like it's campaign, and we are not covering campaign for anybody for free. So we cannot do it for government. So could be tolerable. So I think a lot of government.
I don't know 4 million almost.
I don't know 4 million also. Man can also to. Man 4 million. But if I look at Nakeda, Mobe equal opportunity because yes. But I think and the funny thing about that, and I heard you say that the other day, taxpayer funded media, RTS. Nimba campaign like live stream leti. But nintalunga opposition, any opposition can live stream people have issues with that. And most of the time they pay us even to do those things. But no problem with it. But we don't see anywhere but all in campaign will be Hanisukota rally was live stream for
yes.
100 for news from one can.
Yes.
Yes. No, but it's always a problem if we do it. And I tell people in terms of private care, so you don't tell us how to dictate that, even though we have editorial policies. But these are things that we all see openly like that. So it's unfortunate. But
Well, GRTS, a decline can all along, and our fast declining stars Alama Neman Kafar Kalai under Mr. Jeng Malik. It started decline rapidly, and now it has reached the bottom with this. Is it Mr. C? I told Mr. C Lamba. Yeah, with Mr. C. Because at the Mankani Malu, Kafoko ka directive the kafako no dissenting views.
Well, I know the example of that because the intelligence show I used to pay over how many million every year for this show because the percentage share with the advertisement. But my show was stopped 2021 because of an interview that I did with you. Because they were controversial, it should not be aired. Because if I air, then I will not bring another show. Man show donati if I'm a So that only tells you that's the dissenting view.
That's right. But then that also shows the level of political interference.
Yeah.
And also how strong is the moral fiber. Because look, if you want me to do something that is unconstitutional, that is unlawful, that would put me a bad light, I should be able to say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that.
Sometimes, sometimes even I don't think it's the government. Because for me, for example, that show, right? The government did not see the content. It was the program's person who saw the content, and so it was not fit for them to broadcast.
That is why I'm saying, Kafoko, the moral fiber.
Yeah.
They lack the moral fiber.
Yeah. So sad.
They have a strong moral fiber to be able to stand up. Well, independent institutions, I say there are no independent institutions. You have men of high integrity heading these institutions. Nima mol sota me yalon kafko idajikata. Mol me yalon kafko ibetonya fasala. No any independent institutions you'll head. They become worse. Note, like Ombudsman is an independent institution. I mean, the Auditor General's office is an independent institution, But Nima mol sota melan kafko, they are persons of integrity.
Yeah.
Independence, they will not be able to assert it. So, what we like independent media, and I think it's section 207 of the Constitution, media full control. If you have a man who has, strong character, who is willing to work for the country, as head, as Director General of GRTS, nobody will complain. There will be equal access to all manner of views on that platform. But because you have somebody there who is a plasticine, It
was very beautiful, at the beginning of the transition. We all had shows there. There were dissenting views, obviously, and it was very beautiful, and we were all watching. But hopefully, the election policies will change. ID cards, 2021. The other Molko elections are won before the election day, right? I remember we talked about the ID card cool, ID card issuing in certain countries store. And again, Hanis have continue. Now, and I keep saying this, when I lived in the UK one time, after saying a passport, they gave me emergency passport. I traveled with that. I don't know for Hanis I work So what is the need for government to deploy resources? And when you banko can jump ID card ID card expired. Still now. ID card expired. ID card. No passport or no ID card right now. It's difficult to get ID card in the country. But government will be bantala banko dolkang banko immigration ka wuli banko be kan kataw to ka ID card di wala. Moko mafo kubije. But dolko ay hakilo so ko health malong atul opposition politician alfane aje falfane aje wol nyam mol ka nyam
falante malla fa fala ka fako fa election propose lambanin ko abe di kan nyama ni luwa manta so ba ni luwa manta kuna me alam ka luwa ya baile luwa memfo you have a registrar for national identity cards and registrar ni parent ID card issue, let's say, in Combo East. Iba gazette lale. Ya wato fo iba dila wato iba kala kumasla wato menda. And the governor fanambe notice issue la. Kakibaro janjandi Combo East alkalo ni sefoya. Kibaro janjandi ka ko ni lunkari ID card yo be commencer ni ta Fatou tata lafta ID card la formally bijeto ka même feel ito wulu wata wato mena everything ka ko mu gambe dingleti abi nyanta ID card soto o formo nyin National Assembly member or Justice of the Peace or for the Banjul city of Banjul and KM, the mayor or mayoress, a designated officer and JP, designated of Melalon Kavu, Walanya form on co-countersign. Say Mauritania, Ibalka Jumal Kumanlal Mauritania. Governor Jumal Betala Mauritania. Jumal Betala to authenticate what forms no. So when you look for your combat. What damn man can you?
UDP, like I said, what UDP have contributed to Gambia jurisprudence, nta calculate no, nta phone no. Basically, abe matole. But muna na nyimbe ke nta pula sa encourage lo. Hansa manfenje man lawsuit je manfenje alba minkeka.
Well, anyway, yalong at least we've shown kawako in the first step tale. Wrote a director of immigration. Ako is beyond him. Let us write to the Minister of Interior. But we know Minister of Interior is not issuing them. It's the director of immigration. Alamol waleba issue. Yeah, man. So we've got that letter and inside you be member can tell for like have company nekela.
Okay.
You know, but really can you memfo nyina mluade. I do not recover con cover nyina mluade. Nimmenko wote ngame for manke to nyate. Buko luwa nyina ya itani afko nyina mluade nyina mate. Iteka memfo atwata. Embassies no. Under the Government National Citizenship Act, they can issue passports, renewals of passports. Not issue new, but renewals, because there's a renewal section here. It's a main stamp. No? Or they can issue you an emergency passport to travel.
Yeah.
That they can do. But a national identity card is issued in the Gambia here. Penfe yalong kafko is outside the Gambia, and in Silamenta, I don't know yalong kafko ebet left tapale yale kalala. I mean, really, you are in for trouble. For the election in Mbinala, it's not going to be like any election day.
Yeah.
Gambia, yeah. Gambia la ko bebe dende election order. So, how ID be card ka membuno. I don't know, I have come correct. And then coming for what I call IEC, Bal Korosla.
And for the next question, we told the IEC, we have a new management there. Joe Colley is the chairman, and we have one key, Mr. So Jallo.
Mr.
Jallo as the vice chair. He's a new person there. Joe was there when voter registration canal. And a lot of your lawsuits, Ali means IEC, a lot of things were registration time or call me kinaji Ali will jama bale site no ala lawsuit no jama babi jele no and voter registration no canal I think is in April and then IEC could also to albe mune korosika ali mune expect with this new management.
Well IEC kuta soto
management kuto
no management kuta soto.
Okay.
It's just that one person moved out.
Yeah. So do select.
You do selendi. Then you more kutenati. The only new person there is the deputy chairman, Mr. Cherno Jallo.
Yes.
At a dominant new person. Yeah. Otherwise, it's the same old gang. And I'm sorry if I use the word gang, not in a derogatory
way.
Not in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry saying that is the old team.
The old team.
Old team in Abijato. Yeah, man. So old team, yeah, man. UDP has issued a statement when Mr. Colley assumed office. We said, well, we welcome him and we work with him.
Yeah.
But we hope that things will be done properly. There would be no, cutting of corners. Kurobe nyantatalale, siloni ntonyala. So the burden is on them to really continue to enjoy our confidence. The burden is on them.
Well, as a party also, what are you doing? What measures are you putting in place? Voter registration, one, to grow your base, to recruit more young people, or to register them, but also to monitor. Because
no.
So, and obviously, our last case to Ali,
we will monitor it. And in fact, we will ask the inter-party committee and Niake Salam, Nemake Salam, then we'll do it on our own. In Claremont, you even come with an ID, IEC, for their own integrity. They should allow our agents to inspect that national ID card. They should allow it. That's it. You just don't come, your ID frank, without scrutinizing, and you register somebody. We'll tell them that we should do that if they want to uphold, the election's integrity, because it starts with registration. But if you refuse that, then yes, you are conniving with people, ID card, because at a glance, you don't scrutinize it. You have an ID card and you say phone call, a voter's card.
Yeah.
Even the phone call, the birth certificates, they want to scrutinize them, because Naramin discovers that, and up to today, we have asked IEC to give us those birth certificates. Email you. They are not doing it because you have one birth certificate. You have photocopy. And then I give it the same 10 of it, the same serial number.
Wow.
We give it to different people. And that was you to use those ones to get voters cards. And we have asked IEC, they will not produce it because they know after that has happened. And this time we are asking them, if you are men of integrity, you want to protect the integrity of these elections, the birth certificate, the agents should inspect it. And then take note of the serial number, so that nobody comes with a birth certificate with the same serial number.
I saw in your lawsuit, Fananko, it was alleged that some registrations were done outside the time frame.
Absolutely. But coming off, Mr. Carr, I think is their PRO.
Yeah.
I thought that was a distraction. He didn't say that is not true. I thought that was a distraction, no statement. But we have the evidence. Fatou,
So it will be a lesson for UDP going into this registration.
That is why we will be engaging the IEC, first through the inter-party committee. Now the inter-party committee is not interested in doing anything, we'll approach IEC as a party. We think we should do these things. Because in that way, attender integrity will become unquestionable. But if you don't agree to these things, then it means that, some shady activities, you'll be condoning it. And of course, I think you are men of integrity, so whatever will really protect your reputation, you should agree to it. Yeah.
And I think that is for IEC.
That's why
it's an independent institution. So I think anything that will help to enhance
their integrity, their reputation,
they will welcome that.
I think they should agree to it. So that if there are any suspicions on the part of UDP about them, those suspicions will be cleared. Then we'll have no ground to make any allegations against them.
To make any allegations, That's true. Let's look at politics. You are officially the flag bearer for the 2020 election. Now, for January, you can need to na mankara kata more
na kana more na karanta akata waliyo so waliyo duwatanye duwa jabi ba kuru so manna duwa kuru so manna ba no moro la duwa ni mo la duwa ni bo le e ko camera nya
ni to yalo now you're the official flag bearer of the party. Right after that, later the diaspora tola and kabrika na lang kabrika na lang ko UDP. Daw binadrong ni na yung convoy back also mo baro bina wala kami baro taka sukutarali ay bumulfay. But you know, right after your selection as the flag bearer, we saw your entire campaign team, 2021 campaign team, resigned. Some said the allegation was they could not sell the candidate anymore. It was not marketable for them. Now we saw that a team falling, you know, but it looks like the football along Barcelona, ni a team a replacement or not. How powerful is the replacement that you have on your campaign team?
Well, anyway, also but
how strategic are you going to be?
Cover cannot be sold. Well, yes, no, views letting.
Yeah,
and I respect them. But Fatou, Kabo, Nema Paraka Wafi. So, woman do, you know. I mean, I think, Alhamdulillah, you've got Molu, Melaron Kavako, Ibijeto, Hanata Nunfang, ko the resignations manke, Pari Kukotan Kata, Adu Modwa, Femfene, Kavako, for him in Julia, that for a replacement Lesotho. So a replacement means Soto, I am Yafa, content Arabaki. They are all experienced politicians. Suleiman Sao, of course, Mobe Alone.
Yeah.
I mean, Mamma Politico Kono. It's on the inside and outside. Yeah. Inside National Assembly and outside of and Pamane and Wajuara nyola karanding lo Pamane Wajuara karanding lo Alhamdulillah ibedo ko ya kumase adan jusola bake and what is more Melalon Kavoko wale vita for those positions like organizing secretary, the gentleman in Combo South, he sees himself as the organizing secretary.
Yeah. The Buba
yes, he sees himself as the organizing secretary. Mr. Jaite, Omar Jaite, sees himself as the campaign manager. Mr. Yafa sees himself as organizing secretary. So because of that, believe in the party, they are assuming the role of the organizing secretary, which they were not elected to perform that role for the good and for the benefit of the party. Yeah. And ngaji kavoko ibedoku kende kala and kajel kavoko bojang. It was after the selection. Ayo fonko ayo rally jambanji rally happened to bring Alamolu, to bring them into the fold, to the party. And there's something more, you know. Member Tabikang, you know. I know West Coast Long Powerhouse. So there's more cooking up yet. No get a lumena lomo, you know. Kumakalanta jamaa binafala ko tenke.
I have been our question hotel because last time I didn't borrow him on the BJ. Mina hotel, Kato, Borobuka Moja, and I'm catered. Volumos of go. Baro, what are they carrying? Mr. Darboe don't borrow college. But Mina hotel. But how united is the party today? Because I remember me and you, we had this conversation several times before, and I told you, we saw a lot of division in the party. But at the time, you know, you said it was very minimal. But after covering Faramansata, obviously covering the last Kachayako, but it looked like, you know, among contain no. But B, after all of this, UDP bra. Somebody like Ibrahim Diba. I remember when we had that conversation, I was sure he was at my house, and when we were talking about Sabale Kunyako, not a number Sedi Kandata, not a Ibrahim Diba Tata, moving affect. Be Ibrahim Diba Tata. How are you doing?
Without him? I'm doing fine without him.
Okay. Politically?
Politically. You know, Fatou, minimal relationship kata tembeleto.
Yeah.
Me yalon kavoko, and choko ndi naketa jeto. It can affect emotionally.
Yeah.
Adamadi yalo moti. Ngamemfo, ni Ibrahim Diba dalta nyame. Ni Monsaba ni modalike.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, Monsaba fana na dindin kenelo.
Yeah. But it was a different level.
It was a different level.
Yeah.
Ni Ibrahim Diba futata tembo mendo. Ni Monsaba fana futata tembo tonum. Really, it could have the same effect on me. But again, you know, when you lose a son or a daughter, a dear son or a dear daughter, you go on grieving for a while. But after all, it goes away. And you adjust. And that is what is happening. That is what is happening. Calling him for Ibrahim Diba is his choice.
Yeah.
Honestly, B, Numukunda. That I could look, Baba, I don't agree with you. And he goes to another party.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will take it. Of course, that is his view. That is his choice. That is his view. That is his choice. But then he will not, of course, keep away from me, because he is Numkunda and he is my son. Ibrahim Diba is keeping away from me. That's okay.
Yeah.
But politically, honey, politically, wala man soto. And again, you know, I don't want to say anything, but you know, I could predict in the story of the prodigal son. You know, Ibrahim could be a prodigal son. Could be a prodigal son. Mafa Bekalabar could be.
Could be
A prodigal son.
Okay.
Yeah. So really, now politics is going on fine.
Yeah.
And just yesterday,
Yeah.
you know, had a big delegation. I mean, every day I'm having new people coming in. Every day I'm having new people coming in. This weekend, it's going to be virtually 12 hours activities for me, both Saturday and Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in areas, yalon kafoko mirada. Yalon do kodolu.
Yeah.
Kur kakele akadul diming.
Yeah.
Kur kakele akadol avko ho yara fanya bekere odanta fana bekela ten. Mammenje kunung. Bimbo jeka ngala ten tu.
Yo jele bi ko di.
Mammenje kunung.
Kambe ko ay mol kidindi.
Absolutely. So really, but then mama udodo manka konta mama ko da benga nyati lim banko da. Purunte adama dum banko la jankoro ta dum banko la kurangti. O kurang ni bajara le. Adu bajara no nyame ka adama ka bondi ni palasoto. So for kukatan kata on the side, woman take clock to kuti mume nyama menga adama baro. Ka bondi. Adu ni ala kitana. 2026. Akanyin kumol me fote wala mati nyarangti. Wallahi wala mati nyarangti. Hey, nanyim mandika kebalu. Si yanyat lele. Ika fo ka almanyim fenka kasapuye. Ukedi minne de.
Yeah. Ukedi minne.
Ibuka kuno jeto. Adama ko damade. Yeta VDC chairman Mahmoud Fana enoba nyo sabala na wo suwa ka no dunta bunkono ka fala ka funyo nyoma nyaton kotima nyaton kay kasile yella moy men diate ya moy men man diye ya moy ni tata kuma me yeme moy amandi ibe mekla so nya le ka ko kana fo kotenke wadlato me yol bulo fala inyanta yole topoto ye diafe yena me yatna yo kuma fo yeta yo topoto ni murutanam adobado ito kuma sifa mo le kotenke ya bati nyakande wallahi adama wato wanata meeting dawda nata taja aka kuma le men katinya men kala pol jinde
Mini Adama team, and I keep asking this because no, I understand because nka molje molka mobe se kumo fa Adama buka moja, but ite commanding for the wrong, killing for the wrong. That
yalo mani kole yalo mani kole.
I think the other day I said this. I said because in a popularity room because all the time President Barrow remind ko President Fulton Keno la nyimbankoka killing the man. And obviously, it's in reference to you. Mune beni Adama te rawa ke political damage.
Well, political damage no. Not that's not that. There cannot be anything personal between me and Adama. Political damage no. Maybe manzo a UDP mentor. Or the menna bada. Maybe. But manikol ko ne ke batalani. Sila dala. Tambole abeso tambola. Memuta. Wale adimi wale badimi ke kala bake no so no UDP ana fa ya le ka ko ala
UDP ko ala loyalty
ala palaso ka bo palaso ala ka ko UDP la kala wala ma sababoti
wala ba bonde
nga wale ka ni ma fa mande ne ka ko la dabo ma baro sindi wala
wajindi no demokrasi le do demokrasi baro sindi tere ba bonde wala fo but finally coalition Gambian jama ko yalo president ko incumbent Kasembo Sotol mo believe ta ko ka baro bonde asike ay kolya do mande ni mol man kafo andung kafobe kala nyaade because hani baro coalition olam de
coalition
NPP ngatonya funyo NPP man to nyama de tonya is a coalition of parties NPP them tonya looking at the numbers they don't have a base but party jelle bije wala atin is a coalition so UDP fanang it would it not be strategic for UDP fanaye kafol sependi fongola ni lefta baro bonla because incumbent lo sembo mi je baro fonko di sembo menu jame bul wol babul ako bala ta fongola fatal economic babul andu na ranke so ba tere bulo kon because obviously this meet the people to and others they are all means of how to mobilize people.
Yes,
now UDP be mun simfanya le tala pour ka coalition sambo nyaton kay and I think it's not just you but even ila surrogates online. People should not just dismiss ko ntol ba keno lam fongo mo ma foi ta keno lal fongo bari ni mol be nyola mi alon ko malaf kata flode so ni president malaf kata foi fane fenke demandi ye mol kafundika what is UDP the strategy to make sure ye coalition o ye asonende pour mol be na together pour la candidacy ka sem gena sembentu ndia ni bitani election ko be warning karte ni opposition o janjanda kate ka janjande so wo mu feniti mi alon ko malon fal ba mi rakaneba
kakafu nyoma manke koti menene mantara na miro kono wato wati be na miro kono le adun so kafo fandu kafula fanta kafula kuleti ma yalon kafo ko anyanta la itama mo partitional nyantale kachali ke barbiton malon kulbe temberamento ado bato fana kul sitra keri mam bamel kalama wala ado ban sit bod dol kalama bari na kanya afka nyadi le ka fuko nyadi discretion yeah can maybe manyan na femfala
okay
you know but coalition certainly nalo na kafuko kukum malamu adu nimmen ko man dalila soto ko be ko dila wala wato barola siyo janto o kala siyo sono yande ebo be lafla wala barbitum coalition be parallel coalition kake ya lo ni nav kala do mo be itala miraliate amira nyanta kala nyame ikole fo so albon le kachala ita amira nyanta kala dami do ya mira ngol kacha
ba yamira nyi silo alo so na independent le la fo parti le
hani bitum wal mu kulet me yalon kaf ko really ni mo fen photo ni bensi fato ibe fensi fato amul ta kaf ko ibe dara soronka okay adum mamira ko nyanta kala
iko min ikafnya di ni tulubusa kile mai kafnya di le
ni tuule même fa if bafa
ni to yana
ni tongulenje asifa barbitu yalo befana mo wo befana mo sandoleti asando may not fit every situation
especially
sandolum sandomel kafa is a warning and advice.
So finally, actually, it will not be fair because something me and Gotalibia Fontella Shoto Young, and I think it will be fair to give you a response to that. Because for me, I said this: mobile opposition oti, being internal together, like you said, Baro is that Siranka left at I told opposition left at Nina Fontes, I've never David, don't media journalist, but I left at the Bondele. So that's why for me, I always say, the back and forth, I don't do it when it comes to oppositions. But he said this on my show, and I think it will be fair to, just ask that question. Because obviously, when I ask Wolom, barite afuno konin dabo lo ita afinkela ako dabo ite moleki akampura afoko na nite lo tata atelona. Did you do that?
Muna had nembe mokilaya.
Yeah, I didn't even want to ask, but this one, I think for my audience,
Kadureli, woman muna de Kavako, Banyaninina. Tabian Tantanyanina, the Manana Talbianina. But Kamoka Kava, Akita, Umbanya in English. No more Nantanyanina, Atelian Tantanyanina. Among Kumati, Mayor of Kafka Sotota, Barry, Mommy, a moment king, come moment at a Yamari Tofo. Kavko Faturelum. Fature nata ko Mr. Dabako teniten. Balo benten talib tema. For left and fulan tafalai. Muyatina, Besila Kamukumafa, Munamala Kakumafai. Patio Mayalon Kavako, Sanjimun and Incononto, Umbomanyaton Kayala. Nalaf Kula Jeto. Mola Karla Mofono Mari. Molmela nukako ni lafta palaso la patio kona kafa nyoko lafta nyim palasi dafana lafta nyim palaso la imre mira ndelbina na wal kitala walia kamoki walia kafo eko ayaf ka alafo kare ko ay nyimfo bari yana nimma fana yomayde enyanta ANM Ousainu Darboe enyanta soblala de kafo ko hanim mamira Ousainu Darboe sininke. So Mariano coming for barreling to the problem.
Yeah.
Because Konga Fanyame, if our Fanga Fanyam Konadin Savanya was a mistake. Fender and Talib, they are in the same age bracket. So no Kukulam Yundina Koto. Never knew Savala Akumola, honey. And then Fender, they're in the same age. It's the same age groups. So no talk kala mumek. Momo dala focus mo adama barole. Nimmen data me fem from insinuation any insinuation ke abatata. Ba inenta tanyo sabala. Yeah. in the social media, ikamel befa. Sometimes molka Italian ka ko yo nyinefo. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter. But I can tell you, ko ndata talib nyanyi ni na talib nyanta kante nyanyi ni. Alo be nyama. So nema mo kiaya. Ko ngome kiaya tofo. Ngalo mari.
Yeah.
Bitu mari bitu in asina na unyininka. Wa Mr. Dabali abulani ndaba. Simple.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to talk about this anymore. I want to concentrate on getting Barrow getting Barrow out of theater. Fanata falinta de na melfo ya jame ko ya jame to stop this. Abokeka, if you stop doing that, then we are friends.
Barrow ko meluso nyila ka kumani ka fa murunande.
Adunga kambe ko fra kortorim punya bojanto.
Ako meluso ta ka nyina nduna be ake murunande.
Ko
he will not return back.
Ko nyama be murulan nan. Nyama be murulan nan. O satara ye bondi nyame. Wala ni horomota ta. Da ni tamtamundi. Ite nyela murulan nan. And of course,
Roman bande abi yenyi nimfo yang abi yabi akana kombole
and bovas were not a banyu na bakele wala
enjoy bore
yalam president wato do ko mo len tatina ka ni ka ko excellence asa
nunko wa ko ateli akunya bi ma fule ko his excellency ateli asa
bara fama UDP le akani ka fa excellency UDP le ma select Akanyinale yalo
to ya UDP la take excellency ate take vice
yalo coming for what to do din yamula ba na haklo mandi akanyinale haklo mandi haklo mukani anyi ko do to
ka ko master den fenkol tide nonde Good master.
Good master. Very well, yeah. Good. Very good for him. Well, I had Kafoko 5 meters cover. So I was mandrollo what I mean a remote control meters. How many meters? I think 50. 50 meters.
50. And in boss only. If you know, 9 boss.
Yeah, no, be calculation of low. So good mathematician,
Honestly, I enjoy Barrow Nila Banta, even though sometimes it get a little extreme. But you know, I always ask myself, you know, Munan Barrow ni Mr. Darboe, because Mobi makande ka bumol file, Molbe ka bumol file, but Barrow ka mo jabi de.
Na kandida ako kami kontala kumota very seriously.
No, especially though that Korani, you keep saying it, and that really gets to him.
But Fatu.
And somebody told me, Barrow, somebody said to me, you know, the reason why Barrow is even more worried is No, but look, Franke, Yajame, we tell Yajame the same thing. Yeah.
Kafa ko benyin menke ka benyin walme amas ka benyin ninke kan benyin taka manke tate. You should stop it. Emanya nakela. Got any future government can hold you accountable
for it. Yeah.
I'm not saying that a UDP government will hold Barrow accountable, but I'm advising him. And honestly, he should really take that.
Yeah.
Kafoko is not just criticism. This is advice.
Advice, yeah.
You know? And Namemfo, not a Kafoko manke tonyate. State land long.
Yeah.
Not a monkey said they should tell Kafoko, no, this is not state land.
Yeah.
Or Kafoko, look, okay, it may be state land, yeah, but I negotiated with the government, I bought it for this much.
So much, yeah.
You know, it's just not imagine from corner. Well, I think, however bad that may be, it be better than Kafoko. Kante Kafoko kasapitan the fenalekan. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Because he robbed of us.
Our land.
Yeah, at the sometimes. Hana ko look, ma sang, ma rob. Yeah, carrier letamo like Sarada ni la ya mi ka ko government allocation no wadi which is not Sarada bought those properties na trafana fokolo no ntenye ntanga sanne legitimately that would have put the whole thing to rest.
But ikafu nyameno ikafa eko nyinko rase ndi nyamanke tati
atate government residence is atate is just like foreign ministry with marina government from Kono. If any president will iota what would call it that? Kafka allocation, no. Minister allocation, no. There has to be, a layout.
Yeah.
And then to allocate it, to Gambians in general, he could be part of the people. It was a layout, but specifically in the Latin. He must have tell a Franco and take a month for. One of Kafka for minister, Kafka, this is the place I want. Karaba Jawara has a place on South Atlantic. I also want to have a place there. And it would take them, a hell lot of time to convince me, Kafka Monkey. Because there's no other allotee, Gambian allotee in that area. It's the only one.
And that
it's the only one. Ndema fa kavoko kumanya venga
boka diaide yako watu watakejabe man fo cross lema yenye land nyum korda ko South Atlantic ya fo luwolu mbaro kejabe so mo na platform.
Well, but then he'll continue to answer, he'll continue to respond as many times, because any time I talk of misuse of office, of abuse of office, I'll make reference to that land, to that allocation. I'll make reference for it. And I'm not doing it out of spite for him. I'm doing it kafako benga men preach. Benga ya jame kele men na janto. Ko validate mbole kekan. Ndanate be nka ya jame nganyine fa ya jame ma. We should not turn back and do something worse than ya jame. Manyanda kela. Nka ya jame bato konko le I can all taje.
Yeah.
Muna na fana nyanto kela janto. Why should he do that? So it's wrong for Jame to do it, but it's right for him to do it? No, that cannot be true. That cannot be true. Wale hatina ko Gambian olo watu sitale. Ya lonkavo ko nyanta paro bon lale ni pala soto. Ya di mola men kan kasali. Mo men kan bukasali. Manyana ni palaso di la. Because it's a betrayal of trust. Mota la no la kotenke. Ba ya jame ko min be ka manyana kala ate bole kekan. Day in and day out.
O gambenul karantale ya jame karanta te baro karanta. Ine fanyi. Ayo defo. Bare aboko ate karanta mena nyinta lale. Ara ate karanta mena nyinta lale. Wargamel karanta mena wal manyinala. Ara to karanta mena te nyinta wala. Note akoya jame men karan. Ada dun karanta wala. Ata manyana ya jame karanta mena amanya nokela. Nyanta kala te karanta balite. Ada nyinta lele. Yes, anyana tale. Watu wanda Mr. Darboe programu diata kacha diata ninti ta jambukan daha kacha ka diata continue bari kacha diata I think what I wanted to look along food banko kan bi mo jamani aje mo jama ka foko dole falingo mira ko falingo nyanta kel to nyalom nyimbaro man sakunda follow maminje ka molfa mawoje kodi mawoje physically mewal. But I think economically, obviously, we have seen that happening to people, right?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
And I give Alaji Conte as an example all the time.
Yes.
I do it on my show every single day. Nka example of Dinko.
He has been killed.
Kilo mola moka wonte fa oda mamanke fat.
Yeah.
But economically killing people.
Yes.
Ngawol jele.
Yeah.
Wol be kekane. Bari woda mante na suol kono mano dabon tala. sukuro damantala lolo nga kala fale fo fe nyim banko kan ya san biso ma ka gena la fale UDP man sakunda be mun kela ni man sakunda mol diam to wato ati ka fo ele ko ha world prices ole seleda tulo ni fen ko le seleda wato ka fo nye COVID-19 but han sai ka fo ele ko Ukraine yo fo sai ka fen ko fanam fo tax Trump la taxes on fen ko tariffs sai ko fanam fo ele so mun tumale
but Trump la tariffs nyol and still that go to United States, you know.
I need Trump tariff la bank dolka.
No, but it's for the import to the United States. Well, Birmingham and La Gambia, Trump and tariffs local because that we could have cut to the Treasury, we could have cut to United States la Treasury. No, until come import none from other countries, you know. Until tariffs la local. Trump tariffs make on the on China for Chinese products. Is Chinese products going to the United States? It's not Chinese products coming to the Gambia. So that cannot be true. Because Trump doesn't impose taxes for the government of the Gambia. Trump does not determine tariffs for the government of the Gambia. No, we determine it for ourselves. Not until we find to take to United States, then the tariffs, in respect of until them to the United States. It's not what comes from Turkey to the Gambia. Dalaso, as long as Dalaso continues to be weak, then na fen be me import la adabe ko le ala or wale atina budget ni men keka should really spend more on agriculture so that na food products and katu ko basic things left them na good food products in South no we got come ta kumfal ko ne ikaje corn oil country produce huge quantities of corn. Now process and get vegetable oil from it. Can't we do that? Sesame, we are growing sesame here. Can't we expand the production, increase our production? Cut lots of no. That time was January, February, dentin beitajeto, tulo zero.
Yeah.
Ikasoto.
And
very good, high quality vegetable oil.
Yeah.
Okay, Konka export. Good, because we want to earn something from it. But then, can't we increase the ground production so that is a process no? Na tetu lukendo soto jeto. No yalon kafu kati sino la. Ya minisel kafu nyame dunnelo. Yeah, not no soto. For our local market. No any order from Colta vegetable from America can produce oil from it. Can have corn, sesame, we can do that. Janin bitala no nying tulu me alon kafko fati for can number. Now if I can see no, you know, the food quality is bad. You know, it's bad for our health system. So we can stop importing. We can stop importing that, but we have to increase the production in those areas so that we can process those things and have it locally made for us. Then, when you are not importing oil, you know, at a price, it feel because you are not using any foreign currency to buy. Now then, yellow production for increase on other areas can come efficient from cotton. So you market elastic resources, yeah, and of course, increase, encourage, and invest in aquaculture, in riparian villages, settlements, You know, like in the Labansa Mafan for corner, you can have fish farms there. I remember my cousin, the former alcalde of Bansa, he used to have fish ponds. And in a brother, ANM Darboe, they used to have fish ponds. You know, you can in large scale, you know, in Kenya, you have readily available fish for export. You know? And then that will bring us something. Look, you know, you don't have to have a magic wand. Cape Verde was far behind us. In fact, they had to come to Gambia to understudy how we carry on our tourism. But now, they are a middle income country.
Yeah.
And Gambia, we are stagnating.
Yeah.
Why can't we focus on that? Promote our tourism. Do what Cape Verde has done. Island Lomu, but maybe some attractions may be just attracted. But Gambia,
we could do more.
We could do more.
Definitely.
We could do more.
Definitely.
We could do more. But then, you know, if you don't have a government that has the will, that have the unseen developments. When we bank with the mola in Yarika, in Mamma Secunda Soto, Makat of Cat Hole Fenkele, but Molba Polo Belor in ten, Mol College, you know, in Titala. The Polo Fanal law, Kurang Titala.
Yeah.
Meters not be is beyond the reach of many people in the provinces.
Yeah.
So really, Mansakunda Nyanta ala priorities nolo o banko la priorities not Mansakunda but it ala priorities momenti ko di batali la jifol ko bar banko ni la priorities nolo ni nyatli wala nyim banko ni absike banko di ma bati banko di ma bati
banko that
yeah.
Sina wakasha dia ta kasha lo jam fata molbe jibero la yelo hat sol siata bi baake yelo hat sol dron ko le biwo nka yelo hat
man gray fe man
yelo hat sol
no but okay no I think you should tell Mbarindi Manye let me say thank you youth advice anya
la nkese
afa grey killing
give fine
afa grey killing
hearts the manko
let me say the grey killing
hearts so ngoja wato wande rafta hunde sarodi la mola mimbe jubero la minyu banko kala ni mimbe na jubero
well lafta min fala ono Gambian kodo alinga fallong alinga lon lafta menna ko jinak dinga mera jinak la kono akam bala fa jinak etra Gambia kono Gambia din ko tanal kame enjoy jinak ngal bukaf enjoy jinak fandi ko nataya ila delegation balong par fandi ko adia mutanya akoni masadabo jio eka jio sanne katuko navek akabilo na tiele yajo akonya ko ban telu nka jio sanne par bukada jio sanna do bari nka transportation nko jole nyadi katuko kabidol leta kata sate ko tanalto ye jobi na jeto yela sarato ke jetenem lummene yo fanye man sinono
bal jina jam fatal lame janta la soko lame na soko no lame example on fama be jibero la pompo bi je sanji jelu ndol wo soko no sanji jelu pompo bu ko so nga bo holo le sing say nga nawe condemn le jina jam fatal lame jam
so lafta gamben ko lelje ngo membe Ker Omar Sen ala tiyo alafta tabas kloto adaya jindi baskloto ayala kodo soto bari ka gajas no dile nyanta nyini kana nyanti kele momme yalon kaf ko smartphone tabulu amma haninte smartphone dam user jam de wato dam baka no illiterate person ibo fankala nyaade ngo ete me yalan ka ko ebe daban kunda janna ebe sularin ila seno ita nyaato UDP lafta telle ma ko ni million tallul ni fulo me yalan ka ko yata ko president ya yolala mbo talale ka tala kende ke to ma ni ngata ngadundi jambanto to ngadi yalla free yani bitala de moy be tantan ko so la janto wali albol dañi ninna ni moto wada pass babe jannim bokala jambando mbole tala nga kodo ta nga ke jambando to ngadi yalla free musolu gadi nolo Allah dul gadi no be bo holol keleto ka freeze ka ngam coolers fonko ki jeto freezer ko social ki jeto janni bo milil tala ko ba dunla kulintilato ibita ko be mole kan la jana kalin lato ene delegation ba ko ibita wala ibita ma be la wolto o ko dole mbadun la wolto pour la na fa kan anim banko la na fa kan dan nak wada ke nola nal ma sekunda so me yal kaf ko wa balo fatalia man sekunda me yal kaf ko abe balula alla nali kontinda ko sindi wallahi banko nyen tardema damma namo and then go Gambia businessman olo penti olo mba fulale ko del incentives di Allah ko Allah kafu yoma Allah capital put it together Allah invest banko la economy ya control al halo be nyama ko nga fanya nata no kaf kontel government ni mega bank me yalon kaf ka wafita mo me yalon kaf banku din kelte walla mo jama bi janto million sabanyon be do dun million tambe no do ni yal na lol kaf nyoma bank ni nan natal masa bar majority of shares nyol asitatel gambian ko lafta ni nakala lede na valuable assets nyolo lafta atel Gambia ding ade control amanga ni ka ko ma for investment la de lafta for investment la de bari lafta le Gambian ko wala first opportunity safu mena first refusal wala ya soto Mala project or start janto is difficult mala moto fola bari investment can inglato na yalan ka ko asi sono around ko ke ka funding ke employ investment ni as other investors no nade but ye kale for no reason when you look at 2026 pani bakala 2027 o mol mel investments ñol ko ya investment ñol ke bi ni man sa ko ndame ñantin de ñantin ñal be bolale yo atel Gambia dinglu alafta menna silo ani silo metata o wala bakala mbola fulale ni projects ñelu ko courant project ali amin kat ka ko ñun man ko dum ko adama baro len lam mira lam ñende kabi ya jamana wala we have the rural electrification program ñun man ko adama baro la programme odi de abaga la fansultade ko ay brijo ka fa atati ñame kiyan ko silante ka fa ka te fa jam baro courant natali al kiyan sa te do yalla wol man courant sa do ko sa in labe malare yalla badu meta courant so kiyan sa ne wol ya so baro nati ari another bari bar me to nyaade rural electrification it started not bank janto karawan all those places ya jame ya ino growth janto le sa manke kukutade amanke baro la mirali ate baro la mirali fengeta meta ko ka fo fanandu ka be ya jame la kopira woto sila doko ya ay wodo silolu bari babal doko bitunde babele mansa na koto ke dolom an Gambian ko lu lafta le nyim moy ale la ka kolom to nyaati silo mu kono la toleti silo mu kono la toleti kono non ta falal folo silo na fanka mbo dunnal bulu Badunde atel megbe bantala jana aliya jele fo kasilol men faliye batil hadil ya fo batil yale bang ado bato no bu futala aliya o bakala jaman ne lelda fato me ado ko bayla kaf al kono fata bayla kaf ko ala leptano to al tala Dakar jara rola al bayla kaf ko ala karamunu ala karambul to karam den lale sato jeton melam ko quality education i bole dunna dinding kun kono wo bakala watu no kada watu mena then sinana silol fengala ko kian ding lomba ko silol soto kian ding lo bena bare wo bita do batu asna silol mera ka ko bal for la janne ka bal for silol dingol kono ya alsinano fanan janda bar p 2026 gambian ko do mo sangale te gamba nyanta kuma kala sang menna adu talibulu nale gambia kuma kali alfan kuma ka na me sona gambia kuma kala fale nyim banko tu anma barobulu jari akon binan ni sang no binada akon million tallu anin fula wasan ko tangalo abitala million keme wala du fankala ana ni mid people store at kan ni mid people store o ko rek malo ko gambia diwlo ali mira la kendeke o mi lo jama mi be ke kanya fo nyanta kala jetole wata dina la haj ko tento bang wato e nal si tala nyinna ko alal fam fasa le gambia fasa mu munati arma baro bondo wala gambia fasa na dum mo ga ale gambia jamfa awju billahi mamira gambia din kende bela flokal. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wakada bisalabo ko programo diata programo ko mayata be molbe tentula mbe juberola ko mayata bake exactly 12 months to elections. Katumbe November lokon. Next month December exactly 12 months to election. Akamta le campaign officially start akadu president baroko sukuta radi to le campaign dialogue. Uta akamta ko alfana pareta campaign ko master.
Of course.
Alfana ya kumasi.
Ko tanga kuma jambanjele o me ka ko le tiru
ha jambanjele
adu jamal bensto
bari fana to era to jele ka video kinya ba alaj bambuka video kinya ka opposition ba roman ta follow de ngale moljele ko ba roman ta follow ifana be mobilization o kanade sometimes when I see those videos I'm like, you know, are you guys worried about that?
Of course. But how many civil servants labor? Kama mvokavko ngame baro yame kafanyame abe kafanyame betu abe fenkale abe terrenale ni civil servants ngwe well daily budget boto ti ba ko la jet
yeah.
And they count those persons as part of their crowd. Yeah. It's part of their crowd. Yeah. You know? And honeymoon musul kamus jama jeto. Well, they are there for some purpose. If they achieve that drum, they are done with it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Darboe. Kashadi atakumata baga. Hopefully, early next year, murna na January silang. Agenda be fintilale programs and agenda by Dr. Siseko 5.0 nyale usunyate la bu ba ni nata muruna ake be
that's okay no malaf ko
next time ni agenda jibe so fana
malaf ko jabe UDP kabe 1996 UDP be diam be nyel fokan
I know
where he was in school
okay
so ton online to jabe
ngolonne thank you very much Mr. Darboe programo dia programo kaya ta ngeten to ngejai badi ngol be jibero la ngeten to ngejai KYC. You don't want Fatu, don't want Baba to go. I know Kashavi Diarine, but we have to go now. Kashavi Diarine, but thank you so much for coming, and to all of you watching. Thank you so much for watching, and my son is watching also. Sisla, I tell you, program by force, mommy. Borom Dekabi has to come. Who's Borom Dekabi? Ako no, but there's only one Borom Dekabi, and that is Adam Barrow. Ako my dad is Borom Dekabi. I will for. But thank you very much for coming, and to my team, Charles, Sire, Lamin, Samsidin, and the Farsila, the entire team. Thank you very much. Good night to you all. See you next week with another politician until we come your way again. Good night. Bye bye. Thank you very much.
Good. Well.
Jah Oil ñoom ñoo jiitu si wàllum jaay essence si biir réew mi te ñu def ko warugal pour kontaan loo suñu client yi boroom moto yi ak driver yi seen jaaxare jeex na léegi pour am essence bu baax ak njëg bu yomba lii sax moo tax ñu amal leen banxaas fépp si biir réew mi pour essence bu baax bu set benn place rek la muy Jah Oil soo soxlae essence bu set essence bu baax gasoil wala kérosine naa la wax ne Jah Oil rek mooy jëmukaay ga doxantul rek si bépp banxaasi Jah Oil nga am si bànneex ak Jah Oil seen bànneex mooy suñ taxawaay moo tax ñu amoon leen banxaas bépp si biir réew mi nim gën a yombee pour yow ak suñ liggéeykat yu xarañ yi naa la won ne mbégte rek nga see jël pour am essence bu baax pour say machine fenn place rek la mooy sa Jah Oil ak Jah Oil bànneex kese la moo tax sax suñ station si nekk ca Costa Road ak Banjul wàññil nañ leen njëgi essence bi foofu noonu pour am si lu leer mun ngaa call si 770 8080 322 9070 714 7273 wala 787 1321 Jah Oil, the pride of the nation.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997, and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by plowing back and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always